I'm going to show you how to receive stock by supplier. This process will allow you to receive your product by supplier. This replaces the previous combined PO to give reporting visibility to all orders and reorders placed throughout the season. As you are scanning product, it will receive your items in order of the oldest purchase order for that supplier to the newest purchase order for that supplier. For example, if you have items on your initial order that has the oldest order date, any items received will be deducted from that order first. It will then go to the next purchase order in order by ship date and receives and deducts items from that order. From the main RICS Enterprise menu, click on the Inventory tab up at the top, click on Receiving on the left, and Receive by Supplier. This will bring you into the Receive by Supplier screen. The quick lookup will display at the top of the screen with the magnifying glass on the left, the lookup button on the right, and the view lookup tool up at the top. Type the supplier code of the supplier to the right of supplier code and press enter, or click on the view lookup tool at the top to look up the supplier. You can look up the supplier by supplier code, supplier name, or supplier short name. To get a complete list of the suppliers, click on the lookup button to the right. Once you find the correct supplier, click on Select to the left of that supplier. And this will bring up any purchase orders for that supplier. The cursor will automatically be at the UPC field. The default for Enter By is UPC. Scan your first item. The SKU, received quantity, cost, price, and description will now be displayed on the screen. The active item is always the item that you have just scanned. This active item will be displayed in the Enter by UPC field until you scan the next item. The quantity can be modified before you scan that next item. When you scan the next item, it will automatically put the previous item scanned down below. The section below will display all the SKUs that have been scanned and added. The most recently scanned items are in order from top to bottom. If you scan multiple quantities of the same SKU, it will add it to the existing SKU on that SKU line. Critical. Due to the internet environment, the system does not save and receive items directly into your inventory as they are scanned. It is highly recommended that you save what you have scanned every so often, after every box or carton, and before you put those items on the floor. To save what you have scanned, click on the Receive Scanned Items button at the bottom of the screen. By clicking on the Receive Scanned Items button, it will save and receive into inventory all of the items scanned on this screen. Once you click on Receive Scanned Items, it will clear the screen and allow you to continue scanning new items. You should always click on the Receive Scanned Items button before ever leaving the screen. After you have clicked on the Receive Scanned Items button, it will still display the purchase order for that supplier at the top of the screen, so you continue scanning any other product for that supplier. If the item does not have a UPC barcode, you will click on SKU in the Enter By field. This will put a green dot in the radio dial for SKU. Type in the SKU number under SKU to the right of the magnifying glass, or click on the icon, which will bring up the lookup tool. You can look SKUs up by SKU, description, color, supplier code, class, price, custom entry, or you can use the % as a wildcard character in any of the lookup fields. Once you find the desired SKU to receive, you will click on it, select it, and that'll bring that SKU up on the screen. The cursor will then be on received quantity. Type the quantity that is to be received for the SKU and click on the Add button at the right of the screen in the Enter By field. This will add the SKU and quantity to the list below. Continue this process for all items that do not have a UPC barcode to scan. special note, items that you have manually entered using Enter by SKU will generate a label to be printed. Make sure you see the label printing section in the Halloween procedure guide for this. Also critical, due to the internet environment, the system does not save and receive the SKUs directly in your inventory. So as another reminder, it's highly recommended that you save what you've entered every so often, usually after every case. So again, you'd click on Receive Scanned Items down at the bottom. When you are ready to scan an item that has a UPC again, click on UPC in the Enter By field. This will add what was on the screen to the list below from the entry by SKU and take you back to the UPC field so you can begin scanning again. You can go back and forth between SKU and UPC when needed. Continue this process until you're done scanning and or entering your UPCs and SKUs from this shipment. If you happen to scan an item that is not on any of the purchase orders, you will receive the following message. Warning, this SKU cannot be received against any of the checked purchase orders. If you see this message, click on the OK button. You need to receive these products against the proper supplier through ReceiveBySupplier and selecting the correct supplier, or through the Receive Stock Without PO screen. If you need to modify one of the SKUs listed below, click the pencil icon on the right-hand side of the screen of that SKU line. When this is selected, the SKU information will display on the screen under the Enter By field. The received quantity and/or cost can be changed. Once the change has been made, click on the Edit button to the right of the Enter By field. This will make the change and clear the Enter By fields. If you have clicked on the pencil icon to edit a SKU but decided a change didn't need to be made, you can click on the Clear button to the right of the Enter By field. This will also clear the Enter By fields. To remove an existing SKU off of this receiving screen, click on the red X icon on the right-hand side of the screen of that SKU line. The Alert Center will come up and state you are required to choose an action before continuing. It will ask you, are you sure you want to delete this row? You will click Yes to delete this SKU from the receiving screen if you don't want that on. When the last group of items have been scanned or entered from this shipment, click on the Receive Scanned Items button at the bottom of the screen. This will save all items displayed on the screen and put them directly into inventory. And this completes how to receive by supplier.